and then... That's a fast train! We don't have fast trains, so it's fast for Sweden. He said he had something, but I think it's a low budget. Yeah, and maybe there's some TVC work that you can do, but I don't think TVC is our thing. I don't think it's worthwhile becoming a TVC director.
If he can sell you and us.
Yeah, I think that's fine. To have somebody that does that and then you do the other sales stuff. Since you've got the breaks, I think that's what makes this such a awesome thing. We're actually going to have a meeting on a boat, right? So it's somebody who we've worked with at some time. They actually have their office on a boat, so that's pretty goddamn sweet. I haven't been there though. When I was younger, I wanted to get representation as a photographer. I went out and I took a lot of meetings with Stockholm reps. All of them saw me as a photographer that did realistic stuff. But that wasn't fashionable at the time. People was doing retouch stuff in Photoshop, like angels and floating shit in the sky type of stuff. I never understood that. So I was hard to sell. Sådär, ja så ska du hålla den. It had nothing to do with my talent or anything. My style just wasn't popular at the time. So I went on to making documentaries, which later ironically came into the golden age, while photography continues to die out. Yeah, you actually have that sidewalk that we can drive on. So this is an area where when I was poor and went bankrupt, I used to work here for like a telemarketing thing. I figured out a way how I could fake work. So I called my own phone. I called my own phone. I stayed on the line for like 20 or like 30 minutes. So I did that like 3 times in a day. So then like all I had to do was just click like, okay, sold, and that was it. I didn't work ever. Now you know, but that's how that's why I stayed with that stuff. But that's what I think people are afraid of, like getting a second job. I was too, but then I just got that one, and then like you should just get a second job and have like freedom if you can't afford doing stuff, instead of complaining. Like getting around on this one in the city is a blast. Hey då! So what you see here is like, that's the castle over there, smack middle of Stockholm. Have you been to the museums here? See people up there right now. Because you got Mosebacke and then you got that whole hotel complex. And that's like the Grand Hotel over there, which is a fancy place where you should go and eat breakfast, if that's your type of thing. That was my favorite place. Like when I moved to Stockholm, a friend of mine had a club there, so we got like 75% off.
Oh shit!
And we were like poor. Started a company, made almost no money. They have like lobster plates and that sort of thing, so it's like super posh. Those were the days. So, did you talk to him some more? Or what's the meeting about besides that?
I haven't talked to him.
It's just like representing me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
He just hit somebody. What the f are you doing? Why do you drive on somebody?
I slipped.
Yeah, but where are we going? had a meeting, went well. Probably gonna decide on getting represented by that boat. The biggest thing is actually that somebody else sells for you. So they go around pitching you as a director. They try to go around doing that all the time, and for us that would be an ideal situation where we would focus on doing the documentary work and we would focus on doing the channel and not sell for commercials. But then we would take on commercial projects as they drop in, but somebody else does the sale. Somebody else sells for you, and that means that we can focus on the production side of things. So we can produce the documentaries and sell that in a way. I mean, we're going to put together a package. We're going to have an agent in the US, in LA. We should. So if you're interested in getting representation, which is something you should probably be, for the advertising career that I have as a director, what we're going to do is focus on having somebody else pitch me around, and like a third party that tells, all these filmmakers, you should make films with them, they're so good. That has value. Focus on doing stuff that shows what you want to do. And then once you have that one, or I don't know, 5 or 3 or something like that projects, then start to look around and see if you have a style going and put that together and pitch to people. But I mean, I waited just because they won't be able to sell you until you have a career going already. It's really hard for them. They can, but it's difficult if you don't have the right references to get them to sell you. If you're not sellable. Fast, but not fast. Slow but fast.